Welcome to Three Peas in a Pod. I'm Lenora, your host. This is about purpose, pathways, and perspectives. Today I have a guest and friend, Marnie Perry, who owns a business that has grown quite quickly in the last couple years. And I think you're going to find a lot of really great tips as well as a free group you can join if you're a woman and want to learn about growing your business or have a business and want to just participate. It's on Facebook and you can hear about the link several times during the podcast. You can check the podcast notes for that link as well. But please subscribe to this podcast as we bring more interviews to you from fantastic people that are doing great things. So I hope you enjoy today's podcast. And by the way, Marnie at one point talks about, because she has a clothing business, using kids in her cul-de-sac as models and stuff. I want to make sure you know that she paid those young people, every one of them. So she doesn't mention that at the time, but I want to make sure you know, and enjoy the episode. I have Marnie Perry, a longtime friend of mine, an amazing businesswoman on this episode. So welcome, Marnie. I can't wait to get started.
Yay. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
It's fun. We have a lot of fun talking in general. So hopefully we don't get into too many of our past family stories or whatever.
Yeah, lots of family stories.
Yeah, no kidding. We even had some vacations together years ago. But Marnie, for the sake of this podcast, we're talking a bit about your background, how you started your own business and how it's grown. And you also have a passion to help other women with options for how to do business and quite a few things that are just fascinating to me. So we talked about recording this, and I'm very glad this day's here. So tell people a little bit about Marnie.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you for letting me come, Lenora. This has been going to be just so much fun. Well, I raised 4 kids, and during those years when I raised my kids, I was able to have a little bit of a side job and took the kids to the health club with me, and I got to bring them with me, work a little bit, and then go home with them. And I really valued the fact that I had another company that allowed me to bring my kids, and I still was able to work a little bit. And so, because I stayed at home with all the kids most of the time, except when we're at the health club. And so I was really grateful for that. And so I had a vision of just really wanting something like that someday for my own children that have that value of being able to have an opportunity to stay at home, but then also be able to do something on the side if that's what they desired, whether it's, working or having a project or doing something to actually help with the income coming in. And so over all those years, I did that for a long time, but then I actually came out of the health club and I opened up my own personal training studio in my home, and I ended up getting cancer. And so when I got cancer, it threw me, as it would anybody who.
No kidding. How old were your kids? Remind me how old the kids were.
The kids were 1.5, and then 3.5, 5.5, and 7.5.
I forgot they were so little.
They were little. I was 31 at the time. And I was like, how did I get cancer at my tip-top shape? And I did all the things to try to help people to eat well and exercise. Like, what happened? So after all the treatment and everything, I was like, you know what? I need to figure this out because I can't get sick again. I have kids. I want to stay healthy. And I thought, I'm going to take myself to school. So I found an online school. And then for 6 years, I studied while the kids were in school and studied everything natural health, like trying to figure out mind, body, spirit, like what happened in the body, what was the breakdown, and just trying to understand my health and making sure that I stay healthy and well. I was already interested in that topic anyway. So it was like a perfect kind of fell right into it. Well, during that time, I was taking herbs, supplements. Oh my gosh, weird things. I was taking things.
Hey, whatever works.
I don't know what they were. but anyway, and I flew around to like Spokane, Washington. I flew places to different naturopaths trying to get well, cleanses, just all these different modalities that people do. And so I just was searching everything I could to stay well, and so that my body could stay strong in the immune system. So I did that, and then I ended up getting my degree. But during that time, I'm like, I'm taking these herbs, so I need something to hold it in. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, I am not gonna use a pill box because I feel old and that makes me sick. Feel like I'm sick. Like I'm not.
Oh, and they're
sick.
Big. They're clunky.
Yeah, and they're clunky and they break open and they're just long. And I thought, I'm gonna invent something that promotes like health instead of I am sick, so I gotta take some pills. So I thought I'm gonna do something. I called it the Wellness Travel Pack. So then I designed it, and just when the kids were at school, just drew it on a napkin, okay, in the airport. One time, I remember the very first piece was on a napkin in the airport. I drew a picture of what I thought would be cool. And so, long story short, my brother is a medical engineer and had contacts in China of a factory. And so he hooked me up. I got this bag made. We took it to market and we learned a lot, spent a lot of money and made a lot of mistakes. And I had so much fun. Even though there's mistakes, we had the best time doing
I
it.
remember seeing it and thinking, what a simple but amazing idea.
You know, it was so simple. It was so simple. It was just a little bag and it had a little baby binder in there. And I made custom Ziploc bags that fit for AM, PM, or just for herbs and for protein powders and all that.
I remember you could, when you rolled it up, you could, because it could be small or large based on how much. I absolutely remember it because I went, I really like this.
Yes, I know. And so, I mean, we went to trade shows. Oh my gosh, it was so fun. Tom and I with suitcases full of these bags traveling to the trade shows, had a great time. But then, you know, after doing this whole thing, I just really realized with my focus being on health and wellness, but then all of a sudden I was like, you know what? I love product development.
Product development.
Yeah. And I was like, this is so fun. And we have so much like information on the internet now. I mean, this was in 2008, so it still was a while ago. Yeah. And I was like, I can't believe I can sell stuff when I'm sleeping. What's happening? and I'm at home with my kids.
And you know what? People need to know, you are such a devoted mom. You are so, so passionate. Oh my gosh. Passionate about your kids, so involved always, you and your husband, such a family focused.
Oh, thank you, Lenora. So, we sure love our kids and our friends' kids, don't we?
Yes. But I also want to say, I think people sometimes feel like you kind of do one or the other, maybe not so much anymore, but to know you're such a devoted mom and yet you're so creative in what you've done to find ways and become, and that business entrepreneur and things that I went, I heard about them, didn't occur to me. And for you to say, oh, that's so fun to do product development. I got to say, not everyone thinks that's fun.
You know, I think you're right about that. And
I know I am.
No, and it's funny because when you think that, you think everyone thinks that. So I think you're right. I think you're right about that. I think, you know, we have entrepreneurs that's in a line in our family. I mean, my dad was a businessman. I mean, uncles, aunts, so I feel like, you know, sometimes those things are in you, that desire.
Yeah, you've seen it.
Your own.
You've got it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think since I've been young, I've always wanted to work for myself, but you know, you don't always know what you're going to do. Right. But I'm such, like you said, I really, just like you, believe in family. And if I can do anything to help my kids to be better than I am, that's what the goal is. And, you know, and kids, they do fall in suit with what you as a parent do. They have a lot of your same talents and gifts in different ways, and sometimes way better. And so, and the kids were all interested in what I was doing during that time at home working. So they were teenagers by the time we were shipping bags out from the house. And they loved it.
Do you remember us joking about a QVC contract? If you got that you're like, you can sell it with me. I'm like, yes, I would love to.
Yes, I know. And then I did get the HSN one. And so the Home Shopping Network, we flew down to Florida, and I was really hoping, Lenore, because we would have had a great time.
I know, dang it.
I know, but it was so fun. You never know. You never know. But anyway, but the bag got to be to the point where, like, I realized I just saw opportunity online and on the internet, how I just loved that concept of going to sleep and things were selling. And I just thought, that is like so cool. How lucky are we that we live in a time when we can have literally a store online. You don't have to have rent of a big building. You can actually just have your own house and a store and make some money while you're at home.
That's where you started.
Yeah. But I always never can do anything tiny. I always have to have
you think bigger and bigger.
But there's some people who, they just want to keep it small, and that's fine too.
Yeah.
I have to go with, like, what is your thing? Do you want it big or do you want it small? And so we just started selling more things online. I actually got the bag license through another company because I felt like I was going in a different direction, more towards fashion. I liked clothes, and I thought, I want to sell clothes. And so,
yeah.
Because then you get to have samples of the clothes and you get to wear it. So,
there is a good goal there.
Yeah. And so I recruited all the neighborhood children for modeling in the cul-de-sac. It was great. And I learned how to put them online and sell them on little, third-party marketplaces online. We sold product from the house, and all my kids shipped all through their teen years. And it grew so much where every time one kid left, because they're getting older now, they're all leaving to college, their closet would fill with clothes and socks that we sold. and and they were more
They
trendy.
became their rooms became storage for your
Pretty
business.
much. And it was kind of getting a little old. Wow, everything, there's socks and clothes everywhere. So, and they weren't mine, but so yeah, so we just, and I just it just opened up so much for me is, you know, there are so many women and friends that I had when I was younger that if there is an opportunity nowadays to be able to stay home, do what you love, if you have that entrepreneur in you,
Mhm.
there is a way to do it, and anybody can do it if they want to. And there are tools out there. And I have such a passion to share we have a group of over 30,000 retailers that sell our products. And we have a special group that has nothing to do with selling. It has everything to do with helping each other build our businesses. And some of them are really small, and some of them have several brick and mortar stores that are little chains. So we have all
Wow.
these people that get together and share business tips and support each other. And that's really what my biggest goal is. And I love selling, and I think it's so fun and doing all the things online. But I think that the biggest thing for me, my passion is to see other people succeed. And also, it's been really fun because now, as years have gone by, I think we're in our 5th year of business. I have all the in-law kids that work here, every single one of them.
Wow.
There's
Yeah,
4.
because three of your kids are married.
Yeah, so 3 of my in-law daughters all work here, and then I also have my son-in-law and my son, another son of mine, and the other 2 boys are in the medical field. So, but they're always here helping at some
It
point.
sounds like you had 7 kids, but I know that I understood
No,
how
it
those
really
connections.
does sound like I have a lot. Sometimes I wonder. I see everybody at the house, and I'm like, this is a lot of people. Anyway,
Those grandbabies you have now.
yeah, and I grew up in a family business, and so I just so believe in family and friends and business. And it's not just about the family, it's about other people too, and being able to be an environment where people love coming to work. I mean,
Well,
and
gosh, your house was one where people just love coming to your house because you guys have parties and you're just so focused and everyone feels so welcome. So,
thanks. There was a reason to that, was to make sure my kids weren't being naughty somewhere else.
hey, I love the birthday parties. Yeah, that's why I did certain
Yeah.
birthday parties. One time a neighbor said, "Oh, I feel sorry for you, Lenora. It's like they're abusing you. They come to your house all the time." And I'm going, "No, I like them at my house."
Yeah, exactly. You like it. You can watch your kids, make sure we know what's going on.
Yeah.
I know. So I just feel like, we've just really been in a nice direction of business. And my daughter, she got involved a couple years ago, and wow, has it been fun to watch her bring on another brand for the company, and it has tripled in a year.
Wow.
And because she's so talented, these kids, these young people know how to use all the things that you need to know to sell online. I mean, if that's their interest, I mean, they're so aware with Instagram and Facebook marketing and Google ads and just different ways that there was never available before. And we really believe that if anybody wants to make money from home at the beginning or whatever, they can do it. It's not hard. We have all the tools, and we'd love to help.
Wow. So what would they start? Get connected with you. You mentioned the group. Is that something they can join? And where is it?
Yeah, the group is on Facebook. So it's Top Crate Retailer VIP group.
Okay.
So we
Top
can
Crate
Retailer. Okay. Yeah, it's a VIP group.
I'll make sure that the link is in the podcast notes then.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. And so they can go on there, and everybody's constantly, talking to each other and asking, like, how do you do this? What's the best way to market? How do you start? Where do you source things? How do you begin? How do you brand? We talk about branding. We talk about how to begin small. It's important, and staying focused. We talk so much just about bringing a product to market, and that's the place to go to ask questions.
Because you guys now have your facility and you're going to be expanding, and you have how many employees now?
Right now, we went from just in the last year, we went from 5 places. We have like 25 employees now.
That's a lot of growth in a year.
It is. And we have the neatest team. I mean, these people are passionate and work hard and have incredible work ethics, which, that's not always hard to find.
Oh, it's easy to find, you mean?
I mean, easy to find. Sorry. Yeah, easy. That's not always easy to find. Yeah, it's not. Yeah. So we're really grateful. We have a wonderful team that works here.
Wow. So what do you think were some of the biggest eye openers for you, and key things you learned that allowed you to grow? I know you grew up in a family where you saw someone do business. You got that. It helps when you're around something like that. And that's how other people that haven't been around that can gain more confidence, is by being in a group or being around people who are doing it, and they can catch that vision. But for you, you did have some of that in your background. what were the biggest either challenges or eye openers when you were first starting?
When I first started, I think I was like more so like, how do I do this? How do I market? Because marketing, like, how do you do all that? And so I just, between all the YouTube with all the tutorials they have on there, I just kind of pioneered through the whole thing and taught myself how to do things, watched other companies. I mean, I was literally, kids would go to sleep. I was just on the phone, just looking, and on the computer constantly looking at new product, trying to find what to bring to product, how to do it. How do you, I mean, there's so much detail involved in it, and there's so much information on the internet, but it's nice when you can find a place like in our group where it's all in one spot. Because it took a lot of years for me to, to actually get a good rhythm going. I feel like a lot of years for me. And I guess I'm saying that in comparison to my daughter. So my daughter came into the business and I was able to say, hey, Caleb, this is how I did it. This is what the mistakes I made. So now you don't have to. So go do it. And it worked. It worked because she didn't have to do all the things that I did to make mistakes, because she just, all the information was right there. And then she also knew some more things because of her background. So it was just a perfect merriment. But I think that, the biggest thing is stay focused. Stay focused. Don't get too distracted by a whole bunch of things. When you find the one item or the one focus, stay there. Don't, because there you can start building and making money from all different places. But if you don't stay focused, you're never going to be excellent at one thing. And I think that is my biggest challenge, because I think everything's so fun.
Oh my gosh. Sadly, I can relate. It's like Squirrel, that thing of that, even that movie where you're like, oh, I can be distracted, because that's interesting too. That's fascinating. Oh my gosh.
I know. And the internet, I can sell that piece of jewelry. Oh, but those shoes are so cute. Oh, but that sweater, we have to be careful. Like, what is the focus? And the one thing that my daughter was, she focused, it was neat. She was able to focus on one thing. And because of that one thing, she saw a need that wasn't being met in the market, and she decided to meet it and and stayed focused, even though it may not been her favorite. Like, sometimes sometimes as entrepreneurs, we make money in things we won't even use, but other people want them. So it's interesting. Like, a lot of the things that we sold, it's nothing that, maybe some of it wouldn't even be my style. Not all of it, but a lot of it's not. But it doesn't matter, because you do what the market needs, but you have to stay focused on your people and on your customers and what they want. They might not have the same styles as you, but you figure out what they want and give it to them. And that's a hard part to get. That's actually hard to know, is get to know your customers.
Okay, tell a little bit how you do that, because I know you are very much a people person. You connect very directly as a friend.
Right.
You have a genuine interest, and you let me just talk. I mean,
yeah.
So how do you do that with your customers?
Well, that was probably my biggest thing. You know how they always say when you're starting, well, just get to know your customers. Make sure you know your customers. And you're like, well, how do you know them if you don't have any? So,
yeah.
You're like, how do you know them? So what had happened is I was able to tap into a third-party marketplace and started to test. I got to test some product on a third-party seller. The third-party seller, they knew their market. They knew their people. They knew their customer. And all of a sudden, I started selling a certain product to those people. Well, all of a sudden, I know their customer because someone else already figured it out. And that is an excellent way to start to get to know your customers. And when you're starting, is to sell on third-party seller sites now, because they have their market already focused. You get to piggyback off of their marketing before you are able to build your own brand, or while you're building your brand, I should say. Because it's hard to just set up a website and then be able to help people come.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that was one thing I did right, was the third-party selling. I feel like, because there's a lot of mistakes I made as well, but that was one thing I did right, but I didn't know I was doing that. I didn't even know that was a good, cool thing to do. But
well, you just will start doing stuff. You just go, well, I'll try this and I'll try this, with a focus on what you wanted to do in general.
Yeah.
And because you tested things out, and you've never been afraid to just start and try. And I think because I'll sit there and go, wow. I mean, I have stuff I do in my arena, but I look at you and go, wow, how'd you know how to do that? How did you have the courage to do that?
So, I know, it didn't trust me. Gives you a lot of anxiety times, but but I mean, I don't know. I think that it's just in me to just jump, and I am a risk taker, and that can be a good thing, but can also not be a good thing. So you have to really find your balance in that risk taking and making sure it's a safe risk as much as you can. Yeah. I mean, there's times where you do have to be able to take a risk. And when I first started, I literally didn't work for many years. I had worked probably for 10 years prior to doing the online company.
But
So
you didn't work,
tithing
when you say work, you mean work in a business
in a
versus
business or
raising
outside
4
of, yes,
kids, baby,
exactly.
you worked. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. Outside of the home, I didn't work. So I feel like there's a lot I've had to learn. I've had to learn so much. I mean, even just managing people. I mean, it's one thing managing
Oh,
your
yeah.
household. I feel like that comes natural because it's just what you have to do. You have kids. But managing people, that's a lot to do. And I've had a lot of, really looking deep as to, gosh, this is not easy.
Oh, it's so many things. It's communication skills, it's building the
Yeah,
norms. In fact, you have to start with how do you outline your role and do you communicate from the interview stage what your expectations are in
absolutely.
various ways and making sure it's a good fit from the start. And yet when you're growing and if you're growing fast, that's a challenge to
Yeah.
do.
It is because you're in it real full force and you maybe hadn't put all those different policies in place yet. So it's
Mhm.
sometimes you have to be careful. It's easy to get taken advantage of and walked on if you don't start putting your rules down first. Like you said, you got to make sure you got rules, but also have it be fun. There's a balance. But
Mhm.
that's probably my biggest challenge of business in general was actually learning how to handle, employees that don't show up.
Yeah, that's a difficult thing because you're like, the work did show up.
Hold on. Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
I mean, in fact, Lenore, we have a friend of mine. Well, actually, she's my friend. She's my sister-in-law, but she works with me, and we were both like, we need to write a book on all the excuses employees give. And we first, you know what? You should probably write it with us because have such a good sense of humor of all the excuses. And we've been taking notes of all the texts that I get, and they text you, which is so funny. It's about us learning how to handle those things and becoming better at it. We don't have it as much anymore, actually, because we've gotten better at it.
Now, obviously, emergencies come up, things come up, but there's the thing of okay, here's the basic expectations, and sometimes they come out of whatever their family was. It's a journey for a young person too, and so then you're coming
Yeah.
together and going. It's a lot of things actually.
No,
I've
it
been
is a lot of things. My husband has ran a company, our family business, and he now has his own business and has done that. He's always said this, and I always thought it was smart, is that employers always take over where the parents left off. And I thought, isn't that true? But so however good the parents did.
well, I heard this comment years ago, and I think it was I forget which course I used to teach because I've taught a lot of
Mhm.
employees. And one of them was, how do you teach your people to have such great customer service skills, such great people skills? And the answer was their parents taught them that. We train them their job, but the
Yeah.
people, the respect for people, the
Yes.
certain principles that come with any great success.
Uh-huh.
He said, well, their family taught them that. We just teach them this. We just hire
It
those
is
people.
really, it's really true. And I think that's really smart. I feel like it's absolutely true. There's some things you can train and there's some things you just can't, unless the person's willing to try
Yeah.
and change. And we've definitely had that. We've had some people come in here where it has just been rough and they actually chose to want to change and do things that they've never done before. And amazing. They've been here for like some of them over a year. So it's pretty cool when
Hmm.
we could have booted them out real fast. But that's
Yep.
the one thing I think that having our small business has been the biggest blessing for us is that we give people chances because I always believe people can change. I get shocked when people don't want to change. I am like, oh, okay. But I really believe people can change. I believe that if they want to, they can become better and be really excellent at what they do. And that's the kind of chance we want to give. And we've had a lot of young people work here, like literally between the ages of 16 to, we have between the ages right now, 16 to like 50. But in the beginnings, we had a lot of young people and I love giving them a chance to be able to do responsible things that they've never had to do, and it's fun to watch actually and to
Yeah.
see them grow and become better. So
I'm a huge fan of that. I have for years been involved with that type of work. So I am
yeah, that's right, you
it's a
have.
yeah, it's a mutual thing where it's a two-way street. Opportunity is a two-way street. And I've been on both sides of this. Where am I willing to jump in and make the most of the opportunity? I've had to learn so many things to grow in my personal career and fields is so many ways I've had to adapt, to learn, to grow, to
Hmm.
change.
Hmm.
Now, sometimes I've had bosses that are amazing, and I've had some I went, seriously? Something. So sometimes either side can be the one that you really wish would make changes. And
Hmm.
so there's that working through things, but people have amazing potential, and sometimes
Yeah.
they just don't know what they don't know, and they can become rock stars if they learn
Ye
the right
Oh,
things that'll help the
absolute
basic principles of success.
absolutely, and I am that kind of person as you are, like, we just wanna give those young people a chance to be that rock star, if
Hmm.
that's what they want, because I believe people can do it. I believe people can do anything they
Oh
want.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the one thing my dad always said when I was young. He's like, Marty, what do you want to be? And so I'm like, I would say things like the Olympic swimmer,
I didn't
But he's
know.
like, but he actually believed I could. I'm like, and I think about that now. Like, he's like, well, honey, then that's what you should be, and you should do it. Would you like to take swimming
Wow.
lessons?
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? And he'd always like, set your goals, Marty. Make sure you write them down. Make sure you check them off. I mean, it was like, finish the list, finish the goals. And there,
Wow.
those kinds of things I'm so grateful for. And I believe that for everyone else too. If they want to do those kinds of things, they can, and they can be successful and have a good life. And honestly, we just got done with a whole week of reviews this week, and
Mm.
what a fun week, just reviewing all the people that worked here. Some were 90 days, some were 1 year, some were 2 years,
Hmm.
and they all love coming to work. And honestly, I do too.
That's a
And
big deal.
it is. And my sister-in-law too, she's like, Marnie, I actually don't dread it. I'm like, that's exactly me too. I love it. And so that's the kind of environment that we want to create. And it's just positive. And because you spend so much time at your job,
Hmm.
you got to love it. And if you don't, then maybe think about ways that you could try to do something you love. That's what I think. If you can do that, I think you can get out. I just don't know, everyone's got their own path, but
Sure.
I believe you should really do what you love, because that's where people need you, is to be where you're doing something you love.
Yeah, I love that you said that, because I think it's often a process. Because forever I didn't even know what I was good at. I didn't realize how to recognize it. I didn't know how to invest it. And some families
Well,
are
Lenora,
really good at.
you're so good at everything.
Oh, well, there's that.
Well, do you
That
know
is
what?
so not true. Obviously,
Sometimes though, when you're so good, like so good
you
at
are.
so many things, sometimes it's hard to know. And this is true, when you are good at many little things, it's hard to know, well, which one should I do?
That's a
Right?
huge compliment that I will take portions of it, but it is the part of just
I must be your
recognizing.
friend.
You what?
I must be your friend.
You are. That's why I
No.
love you so much. You just say such good things about me. But it is a process of going, what actually am I? And sometimes you have the families that help you really figure that out because they see it and they're more savvy on that. Others,
Mhm.
they didn't know how to give that. And so it's a beginning discovery at an older age. But if you stay open to, you have profound potential, promise you more than you know. And the basic success principles are the same, I think, pretty much no matter what you do. The basic thing, obviously, integrity, diligence, attentions to detail, things that matter, caring about people, respect. Those are foundational no matter what you do. And then there's so many other skills and aptitudes that you begin to discover, what am I really good at and what am I not good at? There's some things I can do, but it's like, dude, I'm 3 times slower than than you at this. I can do it, but it is
Uh-huh.
not a good use of your money.
Right?
Let
Oh
me
my
do
gosh.
this, because
Oh my gosh.
that I can do 3 times faster than you.
Yes, yes, that's
But that's been
good.
a process. That's been a process
That's
of
good.
figuring out.
I know. I think it is a process. And it's funny because I have always been into health and fitness, and now I'm selling t-shirts online. So I don't know. And I'm designing the t-shirts. I don't design, I can barely draw a stick figure, but like I'm telling you, all of the programs online make you look really cool. And like, you can do stuff.
That's awesome. Plus, I think that sometimes when you do things, because it was years of doing various types of work. And then
Yeah.
I remember at one organization 15 years later, because that's how old I am. I
Yeah.
can talk about chunks of time, like
Yeah. I love
15-year
it.
spans. But I remember doing something, it was like, I would have never dreamed I was doing that. When I started doing stuff on stage and performance, it was like, I would
Yes.
have never dreamt that was in me. And it ended up being
Mhm.
something I loved once I got past the sheer terror of it at the beginning
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and went,
exactly. And
oh
you
my
were good at
gosh.
it.
Well, and it
You
was
were
like, it
good.
became something very fun. But
Uh-huh.
had I not invested in trying things and being willing to make
Yeah.
mistakes and go, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. I figured out stuff I went, yeah, I don't love. And other things I went, oh my gosh, I had no idea that this would be something I'd love. So it's about a process of time and just keep checking things out, keep discovering. Cause that I think eventually I was like, you know what? I want to get paid doing what I really think I am
Yeah.
good at.
Yeah.
But that was a process. I think sometimes we expect that out the gate instead of realizing, no,
Mhm.
just get good, pay your bills, get good at being an excellent person, and then keep
Yeah.
discovering your aptitudes and invest in yourself. And then it's amazing what it can do if you'll be around people that will help you believe in your potential.
And that's, I think, key is being around people. Constantly put yourself around people that make you grow and become a better person. And also, there are so many tools out there. Grab the tools, grab the education, grab the books, grab the podcasts, grab,
Yeah, yeah.
whatever to learn and grow, because there's so many tools out there. So I really believe it's people who you surround yourself with and the tools and the investment you put in yourself to learn.
Absolutely. So
Mhm.
again, as we wrap up, okay, because you said this is a no-cost group where people can come and learn right now. That's
Yeah.
amazing. So
Yeah,
where,
there's a lot of material on there. So you have to scroll down and see like posts. And we always do challenge like little questions like during the week, like where have you guys seen the most success? This was one of them just recently in for your online marketing, because it's huge. Everyone that we sell to, even though some of them have brick and mortar stores, probably 70% of them sell online as well.
sure, I think you have
And
to
so
these
we
days.
say, hey, what do you guys get your most marketing out of? And then all these people just answer, and everyone's got the best answers, and there's brand new companies and there's been real seasoned companies. So that's just one. But so we try to ask questions, and you can ask anything. You want to do something, you're curious about it, you can go there and ask, and people answer. We answer too, but
Yeah.
the other people, they're so smart and they know what they're
Wow.
doing. And it's all women, and it is all women on there. They're all women owned businesses.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic. And the group is on Facebook is Top Crate Clothing.
It's Top Crate's VIP retailer group.
Okay. That
But
is
you can
amazing.
find the connect though. If you just go to Top Crate Clothing on Facebook, there's just a link there. You can just click on the group
Okay.
and join.
Well, this has been really fun. We talked about a few things I
Yeah.
didn't even expect us to talk about. And I know obviously as friends, we're lifers. It's just very
I
fun.
know we are lifers for sure.
So thank you. And we will talk soon. But I tell you, I'm going to peek around your group too. So I'll make sure that the contact's in the link. And thank you, Marnie, for
All
sharing
right.
your story.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it and enjoyed hanging out with you again.